side with maxter for at least map number 1, but we're going to hop into it and see exactly how this plays out right now. Sib versus maxter, third set of the day. We're live on Sib. He's got that ranger and he's got that heavy armor.
Yeah, the predictions were 77% to 23, so a little bit one-sided. Maybe due to the fact that we were discussing the map advantages that Maxter has going into this, but we'll see. We'll see. As Maxter now just ringing around the rosy on top above Sib, as Sib does get away. A couple of missed shots from Maxter, a bit uncharacteristic of him, but it's just the start of the series, so he is slowly warming up here, trying to dive into this, but he's actually going to find Sib in the process, as Sib is just literally just being very cautious, being very patient, just relying on those audio cues here and there, but we'll have to see going forward.
Rail missing right now. This appears to be Sib's server for those playing the home version. Sib down to 50 HP, maxter no better at 75. Sib able to grab some armor, should be able to get this. The Dire Orb isn't going to do it. No, and maxter takes the shotgun blast to the back and takes the first frag.
That's what you'd love to see, but does pick up the heavy, but took a huge amount of damage. Oh, man, he almost fell off, but he's going to be okay. Oh, I'm always on the edge of my seat for you, I'm not going to lie, every single time I've seen this. But this is why I love this map, you know, I love the adrenaline rushes. The first roll comes out, looking for the second. Oh, gets a nice one from down below. Looking to see if he can try and do something. But yeah, good retaliation there from Sib.
Maxter's able to grab that Mega. And now with the Shambler arm, just going to melt down Sib. He does hit a fadeaway rail, though. That'll help him a little bit, but the inject pretty much handles that. Good rail off the spawn. Maxter maxing damage before grabbing the item into the sky, and Sib can't pick him out with a rocket. Maxter up 3-0 quickly, in the blink of an eye.
Yeah, just like that. Things are becoming a little bit one-sided, but it's still very early days as of yet. Good rocket there, really doing a fair amount, but Sib has already prioritised the Mega Mouse to pick that up. Heavy is up in the next 6 seconds, and a huge chunk of damage from the rocket, and again as well, the rail was just been a nice compliment to those first 2 rockets, but it should be okay here. Survives on 50 HP, goes for the spawn if he can, does get the first rail, but he will be looking to back away. And these rails from Maxter, just ridiculous. Even that predicted last rail almost hit Sib. So Sib heavily on the back foot and just running out of ideas on how to respond to this.
And I don't know about other players in the league, but I feel like Maxter is the king of getting rails off the spawn. I know people like Kilson and Sparty, they're insane with their rails, but I've just seen Maxter hit so many rails off the spawn, off the back of a frag. It's absolutely insane. Up 4 right now, both players missing with those rails, but 3 minutes in, this is firmly in Maxter's grasp, dictating the pace, keeping the advantage here. LG on LG, a little bit of rocket just in case Sib decides to push, but instead he's forced back to the low ground, and Maxter gets another Mega.
Yeah, Max has been one of those players when it comes to any spawn rails, spawn killing by any means. He absolutely excels about it. He acts before he thinks, just relies on his game sense and just relies on... Oh, that was a very good rail there from Sib.
Yep.
And now looking to go back around towards the rockets. But Sib's just doing a good job, just backing him away with all these rails. So good. And he's done, you know, not just a small amount of damage or a nice amount of damage, just a huge chunk to try and contest that Mega. That would have been ridiculous if he got away with that.
A little mental right there from Maxter, but no fear. I mean, that's how he plays. Somehow gets onto the heavy. Hanging by a thread right now, but it's kind of what we're used to seeing. Oh, somehow dodging that rail. Just a little off from Sib there, but yeah, Maxter, I mean, he plays crazy. Plays a little crazy sometimes.
Yeah, he needs to calm down. Or actually, no, he needs to continue, actually. He's still up 4-0 and it's working for him. But Sib is just the complete opposite of how he wants to try and perform. He's had some great defensive rails, like really good. But the scoreline doesn't really show the amount of effect he's had on Maxter. Maxter just continuing to pile on the pressure. These rockets have been so good. Even if it's been small amount of damage, a large amount, you know, every little helps here for you. And Maxter's on 81 HP. He's going to back away and try and regain his strength for this next bounce, but that first rocket is not going to happen through the portal. 40 HP as the next Mega will be up in the next second or two.
Great movement from Maxter to escape with 40 HP, but really good play from Sib there, knowing that he did a lot of damage. He should be able to move in, and if Maxter tries to contest, he would go down. So Both players playing well. Sib just unfortunately still 4 frags behind, trying to open this one up and put himself on the board. Inject used from maxter for a little bit of insurance as we hit the halfway mark, and Sib catches him out. The shotgun blast from up close doesn't deal the damage he wants. Big rocket through the telly as Sib wanted more, and maxter gave him exactly that.
Oh, that was ridiculous. And Maxter, again, I was talking about it before, where the only little talking points you can make for Maxter was just his ammo management and his timings. That was the main weaknesses to him back at Stage 2 finals. Everything else was fine though, like the speed, the pace, the tempo, his strategic methods, adapting. It's just all there. It's funny that sometimes you could be, such an incredible player, but then again, now and again, you have to go back to basics, really, just to kind of, refine some of these small parts to your play. And, Maxter's could be looking to try and rectify that still. So far, Maxter, still a decent lead, 4-0. It's been an explosive start. Things are starting to stabilize a little bit, and Maxter's just been a bit more cautious now than usual. But his rockets, he's been predicting so well, and it's just really what kept him into this game.
And just the reads from Maxter always has his beat on where Sib might peek from, and doing a great job of shutting Sib out. He hasn't given up a frag yet. 6 minutes in, Sib might get his first right now. Good push with the LG, very strong, 1 HP, and the shotgun will do it. Caster's curse or not, I regret nothing. Sib on the board now.
He certainly is. It's took him a while, but he got there in the end. 3.5 minutes left. Sib looking much better. Has been performing really well all game, just not been able to find the frags. I know it took a bit of time as Maxter just been a real nuisance to be able to even kill. But Sib has had a lot of positional advantage this game, just hasn't found the frags. Nice little tickle from that last rocket. Wow. Good return rounds, looking for the 3 for 3. He's not going to get it, but Sib, though, still retaliates. Oh, that was so close, and still manages to stay alive on 8 HP, but knows that needs to push for this frag, and that was just beautiful. What a great way to kind of respond to that.
Still super weak, though. Maxter already putting out the LG, knowing exactly where Sib might show his face from. It says, no, and this might be a frag towards Maxter. Good damage with the rockets, but not quite enough there from Sib.
Max is still playing using the speed and the agility of the Anarchy to stay on his toes and to keep Sib guessing. Sib has actually forced him to play a lot slower than he would like, but still making these right reads and the right plays. As Maxter now is heavily stacked and has the inject as well. It's going to make matters worse for Sib, leading into the later stages of this duel. And we still have 2 minutes and 10 left. It needs to hit some of his shots if he can. Managed to hit the first one, but isn't going to even risk going for the second one. Has backed away. He knows that whoever stays is welcome for just for an extra couple of seconds. That's going to be it. It's going to be caught with his trousers down. It's going to be pushed in as well with the rockets. He's going to teleport for the orb. No, it's going to be a fake out. And Maxter didn't do either. He didn't push in or wait for the orb. He just sat in between to wait for Sib make the right move, or, the wrong move, you could say, this time round. But that's exactly what you need to do. Maxter didn't go towards the orb, but then again, he didn't chase the kill either. Just stood in the middle of both and then made the read straight after. It's great plays for Maxter again, now up 7-2.
Yeah, and Sib, knowing that time is low, he's got to start pushing, and this is going to be really difficult here. This is the opportunity for a frag, as he has Maxter pinned, and Maxter just maximizing, chunking out the time as best he can, making it a nightmare for Sib being a pest. Finally, Sib able to tickle him down, 7-3, a minute 15 to get 4 frags, and Sib with a good start there, a little bit of damage, but loses track of Maxter.
He certainly does. Got to find 4 frags in space of a minute. 9 times out of 10, it does not happen. But though, he's absolutely doing his best, but with the mobility of the Anarchy, it's a big question. It's a big ask here. Is now Maxter's just dancing around the map, just trying to keep away from Sib, and that LG is going to give him a little bit more speed, but instead you saw there, great LG from Maxter, standing his ground going, actually, do you know what, I'm not going to run away anymore. I'm going to fight this back.
What a gentleman. Helps him back up onto the ledge. I mean, what does this guy not do, right, Lethal? That was just such a nice move from Maxter, as 20 seconds left in this one. This one will go to Maxter, and that's quite a start for the Kakas in the chat. And not a bad showing from Sib. I think Maxter just kind of dictated the whole tempo of this game and played exactly how he wanted.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with that, Sib. He was just, I wouldn't say he was too cautious or anything like that. He just wanted to play to his strengths. So you saw he was letting Maxter dilly-dally about, run the map. And then you saw Sib's priorities was to try and do chip damage as he's passing by with his drive-by rails, etc. But, it didn't really work out too much for him here. But you can see from the damage count, almost 1,000 more for Maxter. And look at the item control. Sib did have 19 items, but actually, I'm not even going to talk about the items. Max also had 19, so it's exactly the same in terms of item control. I'm just looking at the rails. Percentage was very similar, 38% for Max and 40% for Sib as well. So it was a lot closer than it looked compared to the score lines. But I still feel like Sib did do pretty well, but it just wasn't enough considering the circumstances he had to put himself through. As Maxter looked like he adapted well, and I was talking about some of the small weaknesses that Maxter has. It seems like he's fixed those quite a lot, and I think it just depends on the position he's in terms of like the pressure he has to deal with.
Yeah, it's just looking at these highlights, man. Just the rockets from Maxter sometimes are just so good. So much damage out of that telly.
Yeah.
Just getting a lot of mileage out of that telly as Sib just wanting to chase and trying to close out the frags, and Maxter just maxing damage every turn that he had. And 7-3 is going to be the final on that one. And then we're going to head over to CK. So hopefully more brutal action up close and personal, just the way I like it, Lethal. We'll see exactly how this one goes. I believe this one will be on Maxter's server, as this first one appeared to be on Sib's. So whether or not that plays into it, whatever, I'm just here to give the information to chat.
See, you're so nice, aren't you?
I'm just trying to do my best as a reporter down in the arena, We're reporting live from Rocket Arena, yeah.
Yeah, the projectiles from Maxter was just absolute filth, wasn't it? The damage you can even see from the rockets is literally double, and you couldn't make up some of the stuff Maxter did. Like, he relied on a lot of those predicted rockets, and it just worked in his favor every single time. And they weren't the easiest to predict either. Some of them were, some of them weren't, and it just worked from every single time. But let's talk about the future a little bit, like Corrupted Keep. I know a lot of people probably questioning what Max is like on Corrupted Keep. We haven't really seen a lot of him on Corrupted Keep, but funny enough, every time he's played it, he's done really well. He's won most of them anyways, and we don't really see him a lot on these maps. Normally it's on the Exiles or the Veils, etc. We normally see Maxter on, but he's very good on Corrupted Keep as well. Sib, he decided to select the map anyway, maybe due to the fact that he's also, one of his strongest points outside of Molten Falls, but I don't know, especially if it's going to be on his server, it's a big ask. It really is.
Well, let's take a quick look at the predictions. Let me take a little gander here, a little peek. Roof 93% for Maxter, 7% for Sib. The Sib fans, start throwing your channel points out there. Predictions need to come in, balance out. I don't think I've seen a balanced prediction in a long time, Lethal. It hurts my heart. These players deserve respect on their name. So Sib is down. Sib is down a map in the set, but now he's got the DK on CK, and we're going to see if it's going to be okay. So I
think you've purposely said which server they're playing on so you can vote for Sib.
I am not manipulating the market at all. How dare you? I am offended that you would bring that into this house. You sit upon a throne of lies. But we're going to sit upon a spectator throne and watch map number 2 between Sib and Maxter live right now between these two. Sib battling, trying to make this 1-all in the set.
Yeah, let's see what's going to happen here. Is now, like I said, we are going to start from Sib's POV, switching over to Maxter. Has backed away for now. Looks like there's been a little bit of jiggling here and there. They both have stood
looks
still.
Like looks we're playing PowerPoint.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't realize we was on dial-up again. Interesting.
Well, I mean, this is sometimes we want the authentic feel of back in the day. Because I'm old, Lethal. I want it to feel like it used to. Yeah, so we're gonna sort that out a little bit here. I don't know what's going on. I'm not technically savvy at all, but I know that you're very handsome, Lethal. So in terms of breaking down this Strog versus DK, what do you think between these two players? Players aside, just champions. Do you like Strog on CK? Would you rather have DK?
I would prefer the Strog just because of the fact that without the rail, it makes it a lot easier for Pika to do some absurd things. It's just great to see, really, isn't it, for you? But yeah, I don't think we'll be playing on 14.4K dial-up anymore. So that's a thing of the past. Could be the thing of the future.
Damn.
I don't know my IT. So actually, no, I do a little bit. But yeah, damn, exactly. It's such a real shame. Who needs broadband? I think dial-up is still the way to go. But yeah, we'll have to see what happens here. I still prefer the Strog. Not for the mobility or anything like that. Doesn't really matter too much on Corrupted Key because it's so easy to pincer your opponent down anyway. It's just a matter of time, depending on how well you can use your game sense to, not hesitate in certain reactions of your opponent. But yeah, I'd probably say I would go for the Strog just for the Pika, just purely due to the fact that without the rail, it's very, very difficult to kind of stay back on unless you've got a heavy machine gun and, you've got range, but that's literally about it.
Yeah, all I can think about now is thinking about 56K and getting those like AOL trial disc and putting them in the microwave because I was a bad kid.
Not the microwave.
I don't know. Parental supervision is important. We do not condone that activity at all here on the Quake Pro League, but we like to share little tidbits about ourselves. So we are getting this server sorted. We should be in the game shortly. Thanks for your patience. And yeah, I mean, I feel like the DK here might reign supreme simply because there's more places to trap your opponent with the Flame Strike. Again, the little wall behind Mega could be absolutely brutal. If you get them trapped behind the statue, if they go through the telly, could be curtains. Red room next to the stairs, perfect corner. It's all about the mobility on maxter's end, though, making sure that he doesn't get caught out in those positions, making sure that if he's going through choke points, he gets by fast so he has open area to work with and the Flame Strike doesn't hit as bad.
And it's the Strog on Maxter's side. So, with those red room spawns you were talking about before, when you spawn on the bottom of the staircase, have fun. I hope you do, because he's going to be sitting there waiting with the LG as he's going to come by, flying by. Of course, it depends on where the kill does take place. But yeah, that's what we expected. Using the mobility and the speed to make sure that he can put his opponent on spawn to increase his lead if he does have the lead, or catch it depending on deficit, but also to contest some of the items. If they're segregated by about 4 or 5 seconds, using that Strog to, push you on through, or just using a Pika to be a bit of a nuisance does, come a long way.
Yeah, I mean, the machine gun and shotgun are going to be huge, especially if the peeker plays come out and Maxter aggresses with the peeker. There's no good way, as you mentioned, there's no rail. There's no good way to really deal with it unless you get it close enough to do the shotgun damage, but then at that point you're taking the hyper blaster damage, so you really have to play very positionally sound here against those peekers. That's something Civ has to have in the back of his mind, and I think we're going to get into it shortly, so appreciate everyone hanging in there. Again, this is map number 2. Civ is down a map, so if you're a Civ fan, turkey legs in the chat. If you're a Maxter fan, Kakaz in the chat, because this one could go to the third map as the decider, but Sib really holds the cards on whether or not that's going to happen for us.
Yeah, it's going to be hard. It's going to be very difficult for Sib this time round, but let's have a look. Let's see what we're going to be coming up with here. We're going to start with Sib's POV to find out exactly what he's up to. But so far, so good, as Sib now is actually the one on the Strog. Apologies, I actually thought that was... Oh, no, that's actually his cam, never mind. So Maxter's going to see what he's going to be able to do here. Still got a heavy stack. They both have really only 20 seconds to pass, looking to get the weapons in his arsenal. Finally picks up those rockets and looking to see if he can back away. Just waiting for Sib to make the first move, which is not something you normally see from him, and it does manage to be able to do a fair amount of damage there.
Big rocket there, and also I like the way he dealt with the peeker, also hitting a line drive rocket. Maxter, so much LG damage. Sib able to grab the heavy. Needs to be careful going out of the telly, though. Decent position from Maxter as they're trading places. Sib's able to get away and get the Mega, so this is big opportunity here. No rockets. That could come back to bite him, but he should have a free path towards rocket, and he does. So Sib, really, really prime position right now, and here comes the drone play. The peeker, dancing all day, the machine gun, finally able to take it out. And that's pretty much what you have to do. You just have to try and melt it down with heavy machine gun. If you're close enough, shotgun, but I already have the feeling Maxter set the pace. Big rocket here, around the corner. Can he land it? Good rockets from Sib, but Maxter gets the tickle. Puts himself on the board.
Certainly has done, as Maxter just keeping a high ground. Oh, that rocket as well is... The fact that that rocket in particular actually stopped him in his tracks going for that Mega, he's going to be kicking himself a little bit. This is what I said earlier, though. He's going to look to go for him on the spawn, and he did. It was beautiful. Good timing on the rocket. Picks up the items in the process. Literally just doing everything here. Pinning him on the spawn, baiting the items. Pinning him on the spawn, baiting the items. Doing it every single time. This is the advantages with the mobility of this Strog. And we're already up 5-0. This is madness, boy.
This man has a family, Maxter. Stop it. 2 minutes in, up 5. Just relentless from Maxter right now. Sib trying to get in on some rockets. Immediately punished, but really good nail damage. There's the cutoff. Good flame strike as well. Big, big rocket. Peeker playing. Peeker! Oh my god, he takes him out before the pickup.
just hate to see it just go from bad to worse again. I've said that phrase so many times today, but it literally is. 6-0. He's going to be pushing in nicely with the LG. 7-0. It's only been 2.5 minutes. There he is in the red room, bottom of the staircase. Hello there. Now he's going to have to try and back away and try and get the light, which he does manage to. Just, oh, look at this though as well. maxter just pinned in with the heavy machine gun. Has got the range of everything he needs. Going to back away though because he knows the heavy's going to come up in the next couple of seconds as Sib is flanking into the red room. Sib realizes but he won't be able to do anything. Did try and contest it from the range, but it's just not going to happen again. Max is just making such great reads and good combat skills.
Yeah, it's just really, really good plays. Hyper mobility, as we talked about on the Strog, able to cut off and get to places where Sib may get caught off guard and not really expect maxter to be so quickly. Up 7 early, and even the predictions around the corner getting a little bit of damage here and there, and that all adds up. Sib trying to fight his way into position here. Might be able to get some damage on the exit. Really good string of nails there. That's going to help keep it even for this next Omega. But now he's trapped behind the statue again. This could be a really, really bad predicament here. The shotgun. Finally, Peeker goes down, but now Sib's still stuck. Mega's free for maxter. Oh my god, the rocket in the pocket. What a shot from maxter.
That was just ridiculous. You know, we always talk about how great his rails are and, you know, his drive-bys as well, especially considering the speed he plays at. But the rockets today, it's not even just on Exile. It's been every single map. I did say earlier on as well, but, you know, people may underestimate how good maxter is on Corrupted Keep. We don't see it a lot, but every time, you know, from memory, from what we've seen, statistically, he's actually very, very good on Corrupted Keep. And now it's on his server as well. He's got a huge stack. Oh, I don't know here, Foy. I just don't know.
This for now is a bit of a beatdown, but Sib has plenty of time to get back in on this. He just needs one good opening. There's the flame strike. Does it connect? It looks like it does. Grabs the heavy. maxter ticking down, and there is the frag that Sib needed. I think he spotted him out on the stair spawn as well. Needs to be careful. Needs these 2 health bubbles very badly. Hyper blaster from maxter actually gets knocked off the Mega, and again, Sib staying alive and grabbing the Mega. Big opportunity here, Lethal.
Certainly is indeed. Sib, like what you said, rightly so, not out yet. 6 frag deficit. If he gets full map control, both his items, and turn it around, he definitely could do it. Absolutely no reason why he should not. Oh, nice little tickle there with that long range rocket. It's going to know his indication of where he is, but that is not you want to follow up with. As now he's got to hope for dear life. But Max doesn't realise he's there. maxter actually didn't in the end. So they're going to catch him. Max is so weak that he's going to clean with the LG, but he's going to be weak himself. Will maxter go for the trade? It depends on the spawn. It looks like he's decided to go back and maybe go for the heavy, which has come up in the next 5 seconds.
That rocket was disgusting on his way out as maxter able to grab the heavy. A little bit of damage, all right. I thought it was going to be more peppering with the machine gun. Sib on the low ground now as maxter makes his way right above the Mega, and there's the Peeker again, dealt with nicely. Sib is handling the Peeker pretty well, but the rockets aren't going to be enough. The flame strike comes out a little bit too late, and maxter's able to stay alive, but he's so incredibly weak, Lethal.
He certainly is indeed. maxter just trying to do everything he can to stay alive, though. Good recovery. He wants to keep this lead. And you probably notice as well, Sib is taking the exact same path for the heavy every single time. And maxter knows this as well. He realizes he's taking the same route to contest it. And it's just not really going to help him and give him much leadway here if he does the same thing. Not time and time again, but, you know, 9 times out of 10 he has been going for it. But needs more LG ammo. Finds one, luckily, on the spawner of Sib. Going to push him with the Peeker. And this is what I mean, though. It's hard to deal with that Peeker, considering if you haven't got the weapons in your arsenal, as it's 3.5 minutes to spawn again. Just maxter is so good. He excels it almost better than anyone.
It's insane to watch. Every spawn, the man studies these spawns, and he's there at the right place, right time, right weapon. Sib dodging that rocket right above the shoulder. And maxter just, it's been pure dominance. 3 frags for Sib, yes, but it's just been all maxter all game long.
And that's the thing now you see as well. It's like, he knows the spawns perfectly. Like, you know, he's the sort of guy who's probably thinking, right, it says a 93.7% chance if I stand at the bottom of Mega, you're going to spawn in Red Room. Like, you know, it's just the kind of guy who statistically is going to work out every single method to keep his opponent suffocated throughout the entire course of the game, and he has done. Like, Sib is running out of options, and it's, you know, life is getting a bit tedious for him here. And so far, so good. Maxter up by 9 frags, 2 minutes 40 left. Almost said and done here.
Yeah, it's at this point I would say it's just a matter of, does Maxter want to get more frags? Because it just seems like Sib cannot get his feet under him. The peeker comes out, a little bit of a chase here in the graveyard. Just a little bonk on the head with the peeker, no big deal.
Yeah, it's fine. Well, not fine for Sib yet, but yeah, I think he pretty much knows that it's curtains. Maxter picks up the Mega. Heavy is up in the next 17. But still, though, just dancing around the map to see if he can find Sib. Will find him good LG as Sib
Really
does
nice
get away
rocket.
with the light, but it doesn't matter too much for him as you can see the flame strike does come into play, but it's already next to the health bubbles. He's going to be fine here. He's going to make the push, cleans him up, gets to Heavy just in time. Great stuff again from Maxter.
Just brutal. Couldn't even steal away the heavy on the way out. And if we take a look at the major items between these two players, Sib has only been able to get 3 heavies and 3 megas as opposed to Maxter, who's gotten 13 of each. Now, Sib has done a good job of stacking the lights, getting 21 to Maxter's 5. So it's not a Pac-Man issue of Maxter taking everything off the map, but what he is doing is taking frag upon frag away from Sib, stacking bodies out here. The Magic Man is absolutely deadly right now on Corrupted Keep, Lethal.
It certainly is indeed. Minute 15 left. Maxter still massively stacked. Massively here. It's only got a minute remaining. And that was a nice little cheeky rocket from Maxter. Just being an absolute nuisance still, as Sib knows that it's pretty much said and done. He's going to try and clean him up with the peeker. And this is what I've been talking about quite a lot of the times. Unless you've got, you know, a bit of range away from the peeker and you haven't got the weapons, you're pretty much done for. Or maybe not done for, but you're going to take a huge chunk before you get cleaned up here. And Maxter just, you know, do what he's doing best here, just trying to increase his lead to an extent where it's just getting out of control. Picks up the Mega. Everything's just going right here for Maxter. It will be a 2-0 series after this game. We'll be looking for the 3-0.
What?
And Sib's
Just
like,
happened?
okay. I don't. You tell me. I have no
what?
idea. Okay. Nice little peek. It lasted a lot longer than we expected. I think we were just, you know, we were just on a mission there for you, just both traveling, waiting to see what the peeker was going to do next. But yeah, like I said before, we're going to say it again, all said and done. Sib sadly loses at 16-3. Maxter continuing his path of destruction in this series. It may even get the sweep. We'll have to see. That will definitely be extremely good for him on the leaderboard. But Sib just not really finding any of the answers, not many ideas to counter what Maxter was up to.
Yeah, there just was no real momentum from Sib there. You saw a slight break in Maxter's momentum where Sib got some frags, but after that it was all Maxter all the time and flying around the map using the Strog passive perfectly, that butt sliding that we all love to see, and then the peeker came up big. You know, there's nothing harder than a big peeker, and Maxter knew how to use it. The Flame Strike, unfortunately, not doing a ton for Sib like I thought it would. The choke points and everything like that, it just didn't work out for him. Maxter, again, setting the tempo and playing his game and forcing Sib kind of on the back foot the entire time.
Certainly is indeed. It doesn't matter which server it's on, Maxter is still continuing on to do so much work.
So going into map number 3 here shortly, we have Vale, and it's going to be Maxter on BJ and Sib on Sorlag. Lethal, do you think Sib can take this map?
Well, I hope so. You know, we haven't really seen a lot from him as of yet. That map is just going to have to be a write-off, though, considering the circumstances and the positions he was placed in. It seems like it's the same as what we saw in the Corrupted Keep earlier between Garpy and Kilson. You know, if you're not going to do a huge chunk of damage, then that's it really, because you have no chance of contesting the next set of items. And, you know, if you're just going to tickle or sprinkle him a little bit, then it's just going to be even worse, because then on the spawn, you're not going to have weapons in your arsenal again, and then it's just going to be the same old story each and every single time. But hopefully this next map will make a little bit of difference, give it a little bit of leadway, considering what has happened. But I don't know, man. It's very difficult to kind of comprehend. I kind of feel like Maxter is back to his old form again from what we've seen so far, and you know that's not something Sib wants to see.
Absolutely not. It's what we all want to see as spectators. But yeah, Sib is definitely on the back foot right now. Already dropping the series. Might drop 3-0 or 0-3, I guess, to Maxter here. But the BJ versus Sorlag matchup might be a little rough. I'm looking forward to seeing how Maxter plays it. We saw on map number 1 that he's more than willing to play the hit and run kind of game and set the pace, even if it's defensively rather than super aggressively. So we'll see who can get their footing first and kind of dictate the pace of the game. I feel like if Sib can maybe get a good first 2 frags and start getting items and map control, I feel like he could definitely put this one away. But Maxter's playing incredible right now, and I'm sure he's going to have a little something to say about it.
He certainly is indeed. You know, no molten force this time, like I said, for you. So, you know, that's already one map gone. That's definitely a map which Sib excels at massively. And Maxter knew that, you know, you can see, but he definitely does his homework and he's realised that, yeah, like every single time he's taken a map, it's been that map or one of the others. But yeah, we are going to go to Vale, and it's quite strange actually. There's a lot of players in the Pro League, not just the Americas, but in the EU region alone, who are very, very good at Vale. Just, you know, it's a little bit strange because I thought people would have mixed opinions on Vale, but it seems like a lot of people do actually enjoy competing on it, especially statistically. A lot of these players are very strong. But let's find out what Sib can do differently here with the Sorlag against the BJ. Not a matchup you normally see, you know, you normally see the Eisens or the kills or anything like that, but none of that at all, as now Sib is hoping to at least gain a map in this series.
Yeah, and doing a good job of defending rockets off the bat, but Maxter landing a couple good rails here as he grabs the heavy. Does get in on some rockets, potentially LG here. Good rocket from down below, right into a rail. The spit comes out. Good evasion from Maxter, but a fantastic rocket from Sib. And the rails are going to be enough. Maxter puts himself on the board a minute in. Doesn't quite grab an LG though, but does have the dual-wheeled rockets. This is going to be enough. Sib with the fadeaway rail drops down, making sure that Maxter is not on the hunt. Sib already so weak right off the bat. Needs to be careful. Somehow dodges that rocket. Unfortunately for him, not the second.
That rocket went through his legs, boy. Through his legs.
Sometimes you gotta ride a rocket, Lethal. I'm telling you. That's what I always tell you on the weekends. You never call me back. But 0-2 here as the trampoline play from Sib is gonna lend him a lot of damage. Good rails, and does escape. That is a really tough way to get out of there.
It was. I'm sorry. I'm a busy man, boy. I'm a busy man. Maybe next time. Maybe another time we'll try and sort something out. But yeah, Maxter isn't available, so he's gonna be okay. He's gonna pick up the hourglasses to use that dual wield if he would like to be some form of a threat. Hasn't got any rockets. Does have the LG though. Again, trying to fix his ammo management. Waiting for Sib to go through the telly, which he still hasn't yet. But it's going to be dancing on his head and still makes it out alive. Not too sure how. He hasn't got any rockets though, so he just has to continue on with the LG. And isn't all. That was a good spawn rail there from Sib. A nice way to retaliate. Hits another one. And that's going to be almost it. But it looks like Sib's not exactly going to go for the frag through. The normal route is going to go through the portal and cleaning up. So that was a good way to respond to those after those first 2 rails hit on Maxter.
Yeah, really nice play there from Sib, but a big rocket defensively. Make that 2, make that 3, Maxter, you're insane!
You couldn't make this up. His rockets are just ridiculous. And now he's still going to push on forward to keep him at bay and not give him even the slightest chance to recover. So Maxter looking very fresh, looking very clean in terms of a lot of the frags he's been picking up here. I may have jinxed that a little bit, but that's okay. He's going to be going for the heavy none for less. He's going to be going up to see if he can go for the Mega 2, which is going to be up now, and taking a little bit of damage. Not a huge amount, which Sib would like, but he's going to see if he can try and get another frag, which he does. Left on 37 HP. Maxter just continuing to do so much work, contesting the rockets, but if he gets taken down, that's fine. It's just fine. He's already done a huge amount.
Still trying to catch my breath after that rocket. I'm sorry, Lethal, but that was absolutely incredible. As Sib hanging by a thread right now, able to grab 2 health bubbles and a 50 shard, but still not looking so hot right now. Needs a little more of a stack. He does well to grab the light armors and more health bubbles. So not all is lost yet. Only down by 3 early on here. It's the rocket from around the corner. Maxter making sure that Sib does not come out of the Thunderdome unscathed. Good rails from both players now. As now it's a game of tellies. Dual wheel comes out, the spit will connect, and Maxter's gonna tick down slowly but surely, but he gets the telefrag! Oh, it was a dirty dance! It was a dirty dance!
Oh, that rocket was so quick. It looked like they didn't even shot it through the portal. I'm sure it's not because of my age. And now the LGs are coming into play. Once again, maxter. Oh, this is why it's just a pleasure to watch. It really is.
Just insane. Insane performance from the Magic Man now as he's forcing Sib down 5. Big trap here, but somehow the rockets get off me, says Maxter, as Sib, that was a big opportunity to do damage and still gets railed from down below, and Sib is like, where am I getting hit from? At a certain point, it's got to be unbelievably frustrating. Can he finally get it? He hits one more rail on the way out, 7 HP!
There was no way. If he got away with that, considering Sib had shotgun in hand, I don't know. I don't know where that rocket went through the portal.
Is this happening?
No. Well, maybe. Could be. As he's still going to portal through and chase after him. Yeah, this is just, yeah. It's just a murder scene right now.
There's just dinosaur gibs everywhere as the rocket jump doesn't even give Sib an opportunity for the rail. And this, again, the Maxter show, dictating the pace, not afraid to play super aggressive and push the advantage, and just getting so many insane rocket kills. Garpy, I'm sorry, I think Maxter might have won the award so far for the day, because some of these rockets are absolutely absurd.
It certainly is. You're not wrong at all in the slightest for you. Still the LG coming into play for Maxter, still taking the damage from the spit from earlier, but it's going to be okay. It's going to be just fine. It's still got plenty of stat to work with to try and push in for this frag, but knows the Megas come up in the next few seconds, and of course Max is going to be going straight in.
Oh my god!
What a rocket to stop him. Sid must be thinking, like, what else do I need to do to get some of these items? And Maxter, again, just a little bit out of range with the LG, was looking to try and contest the rockets, but just a little bit too late, which is okay. He's already done a fair amount of damage, now up 10-3, and the question for Sib is, what do I do next?
Big rocket into LG, and that's exactly what he wanted, but Maxter still comes out on top. The stack was just too big. At this point, you think Maxter's on the heavy champion, now peppering with Tribal, putting out so much damage right off the spawn, and Sib luckily grabs the Mega, but wow, this is just absolute brutality from Maxter right now. 4k damage to 2500 for Sib. Just insane performance right now from Maxter. What a rail.
Just shouldn't be allowed. Just mad. Just a little bit of damage with the LG up top. As Maxter hasn't got the positional advantage. He knows that better than anyone, which is why he was relying on those rails. Some good little rocket damage here and there. Good direct. Will this clean up? Almost. One more will do it. And knows that Sib is just going to get away with that. And that was a good flank as well from Maxter. Realising that it's probably going to portal through straight away. Won't expect it. These rockets for you, I'm sorry, but can...
Yeah, admin, someone check
madness.
his computer. No, it's absolutely bonkers right now. Dual wheel, a little bit of LG from down below. Sib should not be here. He wants to contest so bad, but he can't dance all day. The Tribal will finally take him out. And every time Sib looks at an item, he just evaporates.
Yeah, he certainly does. I don't know what words I can use to even describe this massacre from Maxter. Oh, another direct again. Another... This is ridiculous. He's going to clean him up momentarily one way or another with the rocket or the LG, but typical, as I say, that he whips out the shotgun. 10 frag deficit, 2.5 minutes left. It's pretty much over here for him. Please stop.
Just insane. Absolutely insane. Look at this. Dancing all day. Great LG. Can he convert? 7 HP, and Maxter takes him down. Again, Sib just has no answer for this. There's good shaft with the +4. A little bit of spit, making sure Maxter doesn't aggress through the doorways. And Maxter just barely missing out on that rail. Sib finally able to get some breathing room, but it's felt like he's just had his back against the wall, or rather, tail against the wall this entire game, Lethal.
Oh, another one. But then again, the movement's now becoming a lot more predictable. Like, of course, Maxter's going on the defense. You're using the rocket placements to try and keep your opponent at bay if they're over aggressive, and you know, pretty much the standard stuff you normally see. So we probably will see a few more directs in the process. But the rockets earlier on were just sublime, you know, just ridiculous to say the least. And now it's just been contesting the Mega. Everything's just been going his way, and you know, this is why I say Maxter's just been a complete aim star and adapting so well. And it's just very minor, minuscule bits and pieces which he just needs to fix in order to be absolutely ruthless at the stage 3 finals. But looking to stay alive
Oh, we
here,
got
but
it!
the gauntlet does come out. So, okay, it gives him a little bit of, well, not hope, but a little bit of pride there as Max had a little sneaky grin there as Sib knows it's over. You know, we're not silly here. There's a minute left remaining, but Sib tried, don't get me wrong, but it is going to be Max's day today.
Look, if you're going to go out, you might as well grab a gauntlet or two on the way out. So I respect it. As Maxter with a dual-wield rail. Oh, and Sib with a great rocket there. Plants him right in the chest. 14-5, but it looks like the clash between these two will come to a close, and Maxter's the one that ended up rocking the Casbahs. He will take this at 3-0 over Sib.
He certainly will. Another clean sweep of the day.
And Maxter gets it back.
Yeah, I can understand that. It's just way of saying, oh, rocket. Oh, yeah, please just stop. I know there's 20 seconds left, but just being ridiculous. Never mind. Sib does get a return rail, but the damage has already been done. 10 seconds left, 11 frag deficit. Sib, it's a little bit of a shame for him, but you know it's not his day. Definitely Maxter's. You cannot say anything less about him with the work he's been putting out today. It's just been great stuff all round, but that is going to be it for Sib as Maxter 3-0 series, another 3-0 of the day. And Max is going to be happy with that because he's not had the best of starts in the Pro League, but especially in the Americas region, it's going to give him a little bit of a boost.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know anything about TV terminology, but it looks like sweeps week out here. Another 3-0 for the day. Congrats to Maxter playing very, very well the entire set. And what more can you say? I mean, the Magic Man has still got it. This is the bounce back that we wanted. The performance previously was not indicative of where he's at, and he came to play. Sib, unfortunately, just couldn't really get over the hump of setting the tone and get over the aggression that Maxter kept bringing. And you let Maxter in, it's going to be curtains because he's just going to keep playing aggressive, get up in your face. And again, that's that confidence and that swagger that we talked about that he's capable of.
You know, we keep saying it like he's already dead, but yet Maxter just won't let go of the gas, like just continuing to pile on pressure on Sib the entire time. And yeah, you can see there, Sib's just, you know, it's lighthearted fun. He knows he's pretty much in deep trouble and there's nothing really much he could do there. So, you know, good effort, but Maxter seems to be, you know, on the road to being back to his original performance. He knows full well that he's not been playing at his best for the last few weeks. So it's nice to see that, you know, this is what the Maxter we expected. Look at the damage counts as well. 2,323 damage more in comparison. That's a huge margin.
Bonkers.
55% rail as well. Look at the rail damage as well, just overall. It's just great stuff. 14 items against the 13 of Sibs.
Just bonkers, man. Bonkers. And again, Maxter just dictating the pace of every single map the entire way through, leaving Sib with no other option than sitting on the bus saying, I'm in danger. And that's all that you could really say. It was Maxter all the way. Again, a decent showing from Sib, especially on map number 1. That was a little closer. But even though it was close, I still feel like Maxter was able to play his game at his pace, which was defensive and was a lot slower than we're used to. But then the second map and the third map, we saw Maxter do Maxter things, and it was just full throttle, aggression, beautiful rockets, and just there's not much more to say about it.
Yeah, it's like in the first map, for example. It's not the style that Sib normally plays, but he decided to play a lot more cautious and just play passive to see if it can do more chip damage with him, because Maxter, that's not in his nature to just sit still or hold the fort or walk around in, you know, he's the sort of guy who will go in your face. Sib knows that better than anyone, so that's why he was just maybe trying a different method, a different approach to Maxter in this duel. But yeah, sadly, it just wasn't for him, really. It worked out a lot better on Exile, but on the other maps, it just didn't work out at all. It's like it was literally night and day difference. But as a show knows, you know, Sib has had, you know, not a bad start. You know, has won a series, has taken a couple of maps here and there. So I don't think he's going to be too bothered about it overall.
Yeah, I totally agree. And that's 3 down, but we got quite the heater coming up. Rafa versus Saigib right when we return. So don't go anywhere. Grab whatever supplies you need. This one's going to be a banger. We'll be back in a little bit.